Good evening, chat. Good to see so many of you waiting for the show. Welcome back. Am I coming through?
Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's
Yep.
ready for some retrospective. The grind continues in Final Fantasy II.
As you can see, I've taken liberty of getting us back here from the Lunar Overground. Didn't really take that long. So now all we got to do is wait for the pink puffs to show up, and Darnell has reminded me we've got a secret weapon, we've got a secret trick against them. It's something we've been using. Darnell, would you care to explain the plan?
The plan is, we're very fortunate to have two characters immune to Berserk. Well, Cecil's immune for sure, but last time we fought the Pink Puffs, it was Cecil and Rosa. So we're going to use the life potion trick to try to get double kills on the Pink Puffs. And we expect that it'll give us extra chances on the loot roll. Did some experimentation on loot drops earlier today in an emulator. So we'll see.
We'll see indeed.
It turns out when the monster loot table is determined at the end of the fight when experience is tallied up and everything. So that leads me to believe that killing extra monsters does create opportunities for more loot drops. So that's why we anticipate it'll work. For anybody new, I'm Dornell of the Geek Gab. This is Brian Niemeyer.
Hey.
If you're here, you probably knew that. But we're here grinding out some monsters in the final dungeon of Final Fantasy II.
Yep, hoping to get
While you're grinding,
tail. But yeah.
The elusive pink tail. I hate to spoil this ahead of time, Brian, but you said you want to get an elusive pink tail.
Yeah.
You're not limited to only one.
Oh. Well, I think that's all we have time for.
Sure. Let me
then
give a
after this,
shout
I
out
do
to
wanna-
chat.
I do want to go back to Earth and get some Zeus gauntlets and stuff. But anyway, continue.
Oh boy. Should be much faster.
Yeah.
Shout outs to chat. Rawl, good night. How you doing, man? Eli's here. Undaker, the mixed GM, always glad to have you around. Matthew Martin, hello. That's right, we're hunting the Pink Puffs. For Walker, Richards, good to have you. Ben Wheeler, hey Simon Hogwood. Great to have you guys here. You guys, most of you have been here most of this run, and I can't say how, I cannot describe how much we appreciate it, because it's good to have company. Glad you guys like Brian's work here. And this is one of my all-time favorite games. So when he asked me to jump in and hang out with you guys, I was ecstatic.
Hey, thanks to everyone for sticking it out through thick and thin. We're on our way to victory. By the scenic route. We're definitely on the way. So yeah, while you were gone, Rita gained another level. She just keeps growing. Going from strength to
It's
strength.
only a matter of time.
Yep. Yeah, strategically running from fights is really speeding this up.
Yeah, since you're on that particular path. And I've got such a, what's the word? I have an aversion to long animations, and so the Trickers and the King Roos are absolutely the worst. I don't need to see the tricker peep himself every 45 seconds or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that ain't legal in most states. Let's see if we can get something. They're like his orange-yellow color scheme. He's got to feel like a king among imps. He's just the ultimate imp. And he's still a pushover. Yeah,
it's a pretty cool.
Yeah, just dressing roll. Yeah, you often drop the money when you run. But that's okay, because I've probably got over 1 million. Let's see. Not quite, because that last visit to the shop depleted it, but yeah, I've still got high 6 figures. So we're alright. And this was the first Final Fantasy game, I believe, to impose an actual price for running away from certain fights.
I think they did away with it afterwards.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it didn't really have an effect on anything. Because I'm pretty sure it was like level dependent somehow, like the difference between your level and your party's average level and the monsters. So the amount you dropped is always negligible. So now I'm like, okay, I'll pay however many grand. Yeah, I'll pay 10 grand. Get out of this fight. That's fine. I'll make it back easy. Vary it up a little bit. I'm gonna start murdering this guy.
I was gonna say, on his loot table, he technically drops the imp summon. Not that I'm recommending it.
Yeah, we haven't found any of the rare summons yet.
Should be working or bullying people over the internet, but I'm here. No, I'm glad you're here. Bullying people's a lot of fun. I guess I don't endorse bullying. Just try.
Have you ever seen the $1 Million Extreme Bullying skit? On their TV show?
No, I haven't.
Look it up. It's online.
I missed that whole thing. For some $1 Million Extreme.
It's not everybody's thing. It's very much Zoomer humor. But I see the appeal. Because basically, the rundown of the skit is this high school principal realizes that, you know what? Most school shooters are like super introverted, borderline autistic, friendless geek types. So she like hires Nick Rochefort, this like 35-year-old man, to come in and kind of do the narc thing, like pretend to be a student, but just like bully the heck out of at-risk kids to like knock some social norms into them.
As opposed to the prevailing wisdom, which is bullying is what created these kids, right?
Yeah. Because the prevailing wisdom has been so successful. But it does stuff like the standard, the classics, like knocking books out of the hands, but then like he knocks this one kid down, like kicks him, then parks a bike on him. It's good times.
Zoomer humor.
Yeah. And of course there's the classic you owe me $2,000 skit where like Sam and Charles and Nick, you know, the whole MBE crew are at like a dinner party in Sam Hyde's character's living room. He's got this big glass coffee table. And like Nick's wife gets up, like fresh and drink or something, and Sam just obviously trips her, and she just crashes face first through the coffee table. And he immediately gives Nick shit. I was like, dude, look at what wife did to my coffee table. Now she's bleeding all over my carpet. That's a $2,000 carpet. And like he finally convinces Nick that like it's his wife's fault. He's like, you owe me $2,000.
Wow.
And meanwhile, oh, here we go. Here we go.
Puffs. All right, cross your fingers, everybody.
Okay, let's see who survives the Berserk. Here we go. See if anybody does. If so, that person is going to cast Life. Okay, I don't think anyone did this time. Nope. Hey.
But you've got an edge.
We do have
All you
an
have to
edge.
do is wait for an attack to kill somebody.
Yeah. That middle one's about to die. So I gotta be quick. Because, yeah, everyone else is Berserk. Come on, guys. Yeah, got one.
Right.
Oh! Reedy's back. Sweet. Ouch. Okay.
Some healing in.
Oh! But he's back. Now let's see if the Sylph kills this one. Because I think he's about dead. No. Wow. And wait for it. Alright, I'm just gonna have him heal. Actually gotta time this carefully. Okay. Whoa! Could have sworn that guy was gonna be dead. So I have like most of my party under my control here. That's great.
Oh, good.
Man.
Oh, hey, I should look up the. No, I didn't
Ow.
know this before. Puff has 20,000 HP, so if you're paying attention.
Okay, and they're getting mad. Yeah, I might need to stop messing
I've
around.
died close to this fight.
Oh, darn, didn't have anybody ready on that. Oh well. I significantly improved my chances by life potioning that one. This is more manageable now. Oh. There we go, one of
XGM
them.
says these pink puffs are pretty angry. There's happy music.
Yeah. Better gonna slaughter them all.
Got this guy. Life potion this punk. Oh,
I didn't have time. That's okay. Oh, I'm liking that. Look at all those threes. That's good. I think we did it this time.
good luck.
Thank you. Come back in. Fade back in. Okay. That's all right. Get back on the wagon. I just gotta not drag my feet as much. I should have had edge, just doing stuff, attacking, you know, instead of just standing there.
It was a learning fight.
Yeah. But we pulled it off at least once. Yeah, I think every time the song switches, it recasts Berserk. And different people are affected. So I'm glad to see some of you who are back from earlier today when I was on John Delarose's stream. That was fun, wasn't it? Good times. So Dornall, are you up to speed on exactly what the JDA situation is currently?
No. Has anything changed?
Well, I mean,
And he got his apology.
Yeah, he did, and $4,000.
We talked about last time he got his money and apology. Anything happened today?
Well, I spoke with him a
let me
bit
ask you, what
more.
did you guys talk about today?
Well, we mainly talked about that, and he checked in on some of the butthurt over in Chorf Twitter, in the Worldcon Twitter, which was hilarious. Because you've got a bunch of guys playing armchair attorney over there who have no idea what they're talking about. And John Zolaria has pointed out exactly how they have no idea what they're talking about, but they keep talking. And then there are the ones on Twitter who still have not learned their lesson about not libeling people publicly. So that's fun.
Boy.
Yeah. And I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but some of them are crowing about the fact that he only got $4,000, and if he really had a serious suit, he could have sued for like full defamation, which often has six-figure payouts. Well, they were going to, like, the judge apparently even told them, yeah, you've got a defamation case. It's basically open and shut. Because they got one guy to admit on the stand that the only reason he didn't forward JDA's letter to, like, the con organizer was because it wasn't from a trans person. And, yeah, his lawyer's like, wait, so you're saying you're admitting you discriminated based on Mr. Delarose's sexual orientation. And the guy had to be like, yeah. So, I mean, that's it.
Wow.
But the only reason they didn't take it any further was after legal fees, $4,000 is all Worldcon had.
Oh, man.
It was all that convention had. So he cleaned them out. More, please.
Good for him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he was not able to become their official diversity and inclusion officer because apparently, according to them, that is a national level post that the local con does not have the authority to fill.
Okay.
So, okay. Although I did see someone, I did see someone on Twitter point out that if he were with Worldcon San Jose, whatever that convention is called, he would be pissed at like the World Science Fiction Society for leaving them holding the bag on this one and essentially bankrupting their convention.
Good point. Yeah, the SFWA is worse than useless.
Oh yeah, Cepho too, but like the World Science Fiction Society is like...
Oh, I thought we were talking about...
We're not talking about Cephala. That's a Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers Association.
Yeah.
Yeah, two different things. But either way, if we could find some way to get them on the hook too, more's the merrier. Oh, already getting another level. Uh-oh. It's growing. Darkness grows. Yeah, I'm going to reply to Bradford Walker about how many Chorfs turn out to be Gamma. Yeah, it's... What Gamma is just a newfangled term to describe effeminacy or lack of virtue that an adult male was expected to possess throughout most of history. And as I pointed out to John, that is why you see all this imprecision in their thinking, because they have so many unremediated mental vices. It's like binary thinking, broad generalizations, either-or fallacies, Gell-Mann amnesia, Dunning-Kruger.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you can use all the fancy terms you want, and you're correct, but I just think of it as people arguing over the internet.
Yeah, about things they have no expertise in.
That sounds normal to me.
It was hilarious though when John's lawyer said that like after his first visits to File 770, he concluded that a lot of the commenters were on the spectrum, as he put it. Yeah, probably a couple.
Yep.
Probably a couple different spectrums. Yeah, Bradford again. I'm dead serious when I say that most of what authors do, cons for can be done with a bar meetup or cookout. Yeah. Well, except for the alleged pederasty, which was another hilarious part, because one of Worldcon's counter offers, they countered one of him and his lawyers, like, demands for damages was, well, okay, we'll apologize and we'll pay him $4,000 because it's all we got, but he has to, like, apologize for and retract accusations that, like, some of our members are pedophiles. John was like, no, like, because they are. Here's proof.
Yeah.
Ask Moira Grayland.
Yeah. Here's proof of that. Deal with it.
Yeah, it's not liable.
Yeah, it's incredible the lack of self-awareness. And hey, self-awareness is difficult, but it's still amazing when you see it so blatant in the wild.
Yeah, I will say that Jim Hines did exercise some when he warned other people just not to lie, which had to be hideously painful. But they're not listening. Like the small fry aren't listening. The like the ringleaders, the lower clergy guys like Jim Hines and Paul Weimer, they're kind of wising up and realizing they can't just throw slurs around when judges have the power to determine when a term of art becomes defamation. But yeah, a lot of the little ankle biters are still at it. So yeah, dude's got an attorney with 40 years experience who will work pro bono and a precedent under his belt. So yeah, that's risky. Poking that bear is risky. Come on, let's get that imp summon.
Oh. Gen Con 2002, people looking around for spankings. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've attended Origins in Ohio a couple of times. Alright. It's a gaming convention.
Yeah, they have their own award.
And unfortunately, there's something about the subculture. It's a lot of nerds and extremely online people. And those people can make for some awkward and uncomfortable meeting places. The convention's still a great place to go and meet people and play games.
And yes, we are trying for Pigtail.
Yeah, I tried to tell him, Terrence, and Brian's nothing if not persistent and patient.
Ridiculous even. But we got a secret weapon because the life potion trick works. It counts as another kill. So you get another roll of the dice on the table. But see, I thought you looked up the odds, and they weren't that bad.
Yeah, the thing I looked up was it did give different odds. I didn't look any further.
So I don't know, we seem to be running into them more often than 1 out of 256 times.
I'd say so. As far as the loot chance goes, it may be that 256 is the multiplier. You know, there's a chance, X chance of getting loot drop and X and Y chance per pink puff that you kill that you get a drop. I don't think out of 256 is the right number, but it's a lot.
Oh, it is. And thanks for the wishes of good luck, Terrence. You know, law of large numbers is on our side. Do all the imps have those little devil horns sticking through their caps like that?
Yes, I really like that artwork.
Yeah, just noticed. It's really an update of the imp from Final Fantasy 1. Not enough time. Oh, well, that's okay if your math is a little off. We could be wrong too. But so far, we've encountered them 3 times between yesterday and today. And honestly, it's a fun fight. Skip the trash dragons. We got nothing we need.
They are really worthless. Not even fun to fight.
Nope. This guy's growing on me, though. Just ignore his peeping. Yeah, I could drop Bahamut on the next group of pups if Radia is not berserked.
That would be fun.
Well, so I suppose I could have the non-berserk person or people use heal on her, because that'll cancel berserk, right?
No.
No, it won't.
It will not.
Wow. Are you sure? Because I could have sworn I've done that before. Oh, here he is again. Not to doubt you, but I'm worried about my effects.
I'm as sure as I could be for not having actually fought them in a long time.
And you were correct, Chad. He is not weak to thunder. The name kind of gives it away. He is, I believe, giving us his correct HP total, though, which is courteous. No, nothing about this game's soundtrack sucks. You take that back. It's a perfect soundtrack. It might be better than 6's, and I know that's a bold claim. But recently, some modder or somebody like re-engineered the opera song and made it sound more like just a little bit more like actual human singing, and it makes you realize honestly how bad the opera singing sounds in the original.
I loved that when I was a teenager, but I tend to agree. I think Final Fantasy IV's music, Final Fantasy II's music was better.
You mean this one? Or actual 2?
I'm gonna use the Super Nintendo things. I'm not Japanese. I never played any of this stuff in Japan. So as far as I'm concerned, yeah, those other games don't exist.
It's a bold claim, but having played all the way through the game these weeks, yeah. I'm going to say this is my favorite Final Fantasy soundtrack. Just, it's not only that each song is good in and of itself, it perfectly complements the dungeon or the scene or the part of the game that it's written for. Just really evokes that extra modicum of emotion.
I agree. The music in 6 is great. I mean, 6 is great.
Yeah, it is. I will say that overall,
This
6...
is the best.
Yeah, 6 is a better game than this. Just from a technical standpoint. I mean, it came later. It's 2 iterations later. Yeah, it's the superior game. Technically. But it's still got a couple warts. One of those being the actual code, which is a complete mess. Like, legendarily. It shouldn't work. Which is why there are a bunch of awesome exploits and glitches in that one, too. Like, even crazier than the ones we've been playing around with. Like, yeah, you want 256 of everything in the game?
You can basically wrong warp your way to the end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron Schuff, loving 6 right now. Yeah, isn't it just superb? I really can't wait till David Stewart plays it. If you don't mind me asking, where are you at in 6 right now? Yeah, the sketch bug. Just completely insane. And then for practical intents and purposes, I'm sure you know about this exploit, Dornall, but so there's the invisibility spell, which greatly enhances evasion. So to balance it out, like, well, it makes you like nigh impervious to physical attacks, so we'll have it lower your magic defense to 0. So okay, use it on an enemy. Enemy's magic defense becomes 0. Use any spell you want on enemy now. Use death. Kills even bosses.
In particular, the death spell kills bosses.
Yep. And then you can sketch Invisible Gao on the Veld. Ooh. That's getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, so Aaron is in the World of Ruin, Doma Castle. You're and Saber are killing everything. As they should. Yeah, somebody pointed this out a few streams ago, but yeah, Kafka is the only like Final Fantasy or even like fantasy anime style villain whose evil plan succeeds. And then you got to figure out, okay, how do we deal with this now?
to be careful with X Zone because it will sometimes eliminate the loot table.
Oh.
For example, I did the Vanish X Zone trick on Gaze and did not get the Aegis that he drops. It just skipped the after combat scene. Which is okay, but definitely don't want that to happen.
That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Yeah. And Kefka, he is a great villain. I do prefer Golbez, because Golbez is more of the classic pulp, Dark Knight, like evil wizard, Dark Lord kind of character. And Kefka is basically the Joker. He's the sociopath. And he starts out, he's disarming, he's clownish. He doesn't seem like much of a threat. But then, boy, does he prove that assumption wrong. Yeah, you can't wait to kill him. You love to hate him. I'll just say this, you are not going to be disappointed. I predict. Because, man, it's a legendary boss fight. That's all I'm going to say. And beautiful.
Beautiful's the word. Yeah, they really cranked up the detail, the resolution and the detail in the artwork in Final Fantasy III, and that's what really makes it exciting.
Yeah, they did. Clearly took a page from like some Baroque and Romantic era paintings. And some of the designs. But I would say that the final boss fight in this one just looks cool. It's a definitely different aesthetic than 6, because this whole thing is, but it's pretty mind-blowing. It blew my mind the first time I saw it. I really like it. And I enjoy the final boss fight in 4 more than the final boss fight in 6. But they're very different, though. And I do tend to power level. So I found the final battle in 6 a bit too quick and easy, but I had Terra wielding like 2 Ultima weapons powered up to their like maximum level. With like a gem box doing like 8 attacks around. Yeah, so not really fair to the boss.
I mean, if you are fully optimized for melee damage, you actually will end the fight in 1 attack.
Yep. Should be due for more puffs soon. Matthew Martin says, well, 6 is the technically superior game. I prefer 4's aesthetic. Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, 6 kind of does its own thing. It's got that steampunk, diesel punk look going on, which is cool. But yeah, this is the pure science fantasy game. Six doesn't feel like a blend of genres like this one does. It just feels like, okay, the world has this level of technology, which is basically like Larry Kria's Grim Noir series. Okay. It's nifty. But there's nothing like the Tower of Babel. We're like, how the hell did that get there? Right?
Right.
And while they're airships, you just go, oh, well, this is basically the same tech level as, like, immediately prior to the Great War. Of course, there are dirigibles. Duh. Again, not that the airships in 6 aren't badass. They're probably my favorite airships. Love the controls on them.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun to swing them around.
They're just fun to fly. Yeah, the Lunar Core is fantastic in this. We will be getting there someday. But gotta find the pigtail first. Hopefully the next couple of fights. I think I'm just gonna start running from stuff again. Because yeah, we have over 1 million gil now. We're fine. And I'm not hurting for XP. Come on. Nope. All
See.
right.
Diverging from the quest to chase tail. Absolutely.
Well, we've got Edge here. It's only natural.
Man, you're in for a grind. So we got lucky earlier.
Really? That's confirmed?
Well, no, I haven't confirmed anything. Just babbling.
Because again, we've had 3 encounters with him. So I mean, we were able to get 2 in last night, pretty close to the end. And we already had 1 pretty soon on this stream. So they're elusive, but not. I would say just shy of ridiculously so. It's doable. They just kind of sneak up on you. I kind of get in a flow state, get in a groove, then oh, it's the puffs. All right. Talking about my game face on. Gotta get the old tuxedo pressed. It's time to dance. As the title of tonight's show says. Yeah, running is making
Yana
us go.
Wolf.
Yeah.
They drop an item called the pink tail. It's just like the rat's tail. It's something that the
A tail
mini
collector.
guy collector collects, and it'll lead to something great.
Yeah, and I didn't know about it until this playthrough. I mean, you wonder why, right? It's this hard to find. Because, yeah, I thought that guy only existed in the game to give the rat tail to, which you find rather easily, to get the adamant to upgrade Cecil's sword into Excalibur. But no, it turns out there is another tail that you can give him for something else. And it's really cool. A nice compliment to the Excalibur, if you will. Yeah, hate those guys.
Yep.
I think I'll fight the Puffs one more time tonight. And if I don't get the tail, I'm going to go back to Earth and fight some Steelmen so we can at least farm something of use. I just want one trophy. If I don't get a tail, I'll take a Zeus Gauntlet.
Sounds like a plan.
And that's a pretty frequent drop, right? That didn't take you too long to get.
I mean, just getting one, it could take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes.
Oh, that's nothing compared to this.
Yeah. Luck's involved, but...
Well, if you don't play, you can't win, right? Right, chat? That's right. Oh, screw these dragons. Don't even grant wishes. Look like they should. Forget that noise. I suppose it doesn't really matter at all where I step in here as long as I'm in here. Like I could seriously just go in a straight line back and forth. Okay. And I'm kind of amusing myself trying to come up with like non-repeating patterns. Oh. So how have you been today, chat? Did you have a frank and productive Wednesday? What's going on in chat land? Anybody working on any books out there? Love to hear about your progress. Earlier,
Rawls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that we're going to have a title to his written romance.
Yeah, on Friday. And he said something else interesting on Twitter earlier, which is, don't worry about getting it right, just get it written. Amen. You gotta put that perfectionism to the sword. That'll boost your productivity like nothing else. We'll fix it in post is one of the most helpful sentences in the world. Oh, and Sean Baker still has a job. Outstanding. And does. Yeah. Fred Richards, Act 1 is done. Well, alright. You're third of the way there. Unless you're doing like 5-point or 7-point. But either way, still significant. Ooh, stocking shelves. Okay, and 9,000 words, and then really Act 1 is going to be the shortest, if not tied for the shortest. Act 2 is going to be the longest, so yeah, you're on track for like a shorter novel.
What size is a shorter novel?
I would say like 35 to 50,000 words.
What does that mean in terms of size of the book and how long it takes to read it and so on?
Well, despite what people will tell you, the average reading speed, if you're not skimming, is pretty consistent. Like most people read Like, I think basically a page a minute or something.
Okay.
And a manuscript page is... I think mine are like around 330 words. Because I double space.
Double space.
Yeah, manuscript pages should be double spaced.
Okay.
Historically, that was so the editor could write notes, like, on the lines in between, without cluttering things up.
Gotcha.
And it's just become the standard. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like also, you know, hence the margin size and whatnot.
And even though it's all electronic, that formatting still matters.
Well, it's mainly to make your editor's job easier. If you would like to show some mercy to your editor who is going over your book with a fine-tooth comb to tell you how to make it the best it can be, you want to... Okay, first of all, the most important thing, I'm going to tell you writers out there, use styles, please. Do not hand format. Styles are there for everyone's benefit. I know they can be a pain to set up at first, but once you do, just use styles. Just use them for everything. Super easy. There's your editor desperate plea of the night. Use styles. Oh, come on, I know they're out there. I feel like Ahab. And you know, Ahab's nemesis was a white whale. Of course, Cecil's would be a gang of pink, puffy slimes. His pink cream puffs. He truly is the sailor on the Sea of Fate. Yeah, double spacing is the best. Unless you're in academia. I had one professor tell me that like he actually can't read anything that isn't single space because his brain just says, okay, right, not single space, therefore not important. Ignore. It's just a
Really?
reflex by this point. Yeah. So I had to single space all my papers for him. So it depends on who you're submitting the document to. No, Times New Roman is a font. Like, because I use MS Word because I got it really cheap on the student discount. I'm talking about, like, MS Word styles. So, auto formatting. So, for example, you can go in and, like, write one paragraph, double spaced, half-inch indent on the first line, and yeah, let's say Times New Roman font. And then you save that as a style. All you have to do in the future to impose that style on text is highlight the text and just go to your styles at the top on the home tab and just click the style. So like in my version of Word, I've trained it well. I've got the manuscript paragraph style, which is that, what I just described. It's double space Times New Roman, half-inch indent on line 1. And yeah, just it auto makes whatever text I want, that formatting. But then You can do a bunch of cool stuff with it. So, like, I do headings for when I'm formatting my ebooks. Like, I've got one heading that is, like, I think Liberation Sands or something. No, it's not that. I forget what it is. It starts with an L. But, and it's, like, 18-point font with, like, 8 points of spacing before it and then 16 after. And I make all my chapter headings that. So when I start a new chapter, you know, I go to layout, insert page break, and the first thing I do is write the new chapter number, which is going to be in my MS paragraph style by default, but then I just highlight the number, click the heading 1 style, and bam, it applies all that formatting. Now, why do editors like that? It's because when you use styles, me as your editor, I do not find, oh, well, here's like one oddball paragraph that is not indented right. Oh, here, like this paragraph is suddenly like 1.5 times spaced. Just weird bastard formatting that you didn't catch because you're looking at like spelling and grammar, but I see it because I've got the Pilcrow symbol turned on and I can see like all the formatting. And I've now got to fix that when that's not really my job. That's your job, author. But the manuscript's got to be like as close to saleable form as it can when I send it back, so I've got to do the scut work. So yeah, using styles saves us both that time.
Quite curious about.
Oh, go ahead.
Quite curious about just the idea of having using Word or something like that for formatting. I've always, I mean, I'm a programmer. I've always worked in plain text, and my instinct is just to say, hey, I'll give you the text. You know, it's broken up in paragraphs and everything. But if you want anything more out of it, if you want any particular formatting, just paste this into your editor or you like to use to edit, so that it's not in my format, it's not in any particular, it's in your format that helps you read it. Why do you care about what format it's in if you have the option to format it yourself? I mean, I understand how tricky it is to like get a file and it's been manually formatted and you're fighting with it, right? Get that, but why not just plain text?
I don't understand anything you just said.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not a programmer. So I'm sure you could teach us much about that, but yeah, I mean, when I get a manuscript from a client, it's in like .doc or docx or RTF format, and I open it in Word or, depending on which PC I'm on, LibreOffice, and like it is formatted the way that the client formatted it. And
Got it.
Formatting is not my job. Like I will do it, but that's a separate service, and I'm not going to do it for free. But I can do it. Now, what I do to like format my ebooks in Word is like, so I've already got my styles, and the important thing is have every chapter heading or like any heading that you want to appear on the table of contents in the ebook formatted as heading 1. Like however you want that to look, you can change it. You can make it like 48-point Comic Sans if you want. I don't care, but what's important is it's heading 1, and then you save the manuscript as an HTML file, and then I put that into Calibre. And you go to table of contents and just tell it, right, make everything with H1 an entry in the table of contents, and bam, you're done.
That's good. Yeah, I think I'd work the same way Rawl does. Just I'm typing away in plain text. Use Notepad or I like Notepad++, but that's got context highlighting for programmers. And then go in and paste it into my Word document and pretty it up. Because for me, form isn't function. I guess it's different for you're actually thinking about putting a book together.
Yeah, that's an extra step for me because, like, by composing it in the same format the final ebook is going to be in, I save a bunch of steps. It's just way faster.
Got it.
And I can see now I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, composing it in Notepad. Okay, now I understand that reference. I get that. But yeah, that would just add a bunch of extra steps for my operation because I've got my manuscript templates, which are automatically set up so that, like, okay, I'm writing the title page. It's automatically going to be formatted correctly for the ebook. I am writing my, like, about, X book. It's already, like, everything's formatted correctly. All the chapter headings are already in the right, like, in heading 1. And the body of the text is already in my MS paragraph style. So I just compose it, and it basically formats it for me as I go along. And then, right, save as HTML. Calibre. Ebook's done. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, as a matter of fact, on Classified Intel. So right now, that is sitting as a completed Word file with all the headings, the table of contents, and everything done. And all I got to do is save it as HTML, and then put it into Calibre, convert it to EPUB and Mobi, and pop the champagne. So I do a lot of front loading. I mean, I am an outliner, and I take that approach into formatting as well. So yeah, I mean, a couple years ago, I spent like 4 hours on a Saturday setting all this up, but now it's done. I can just go.
Love it. Makes sense to me.
Glad you approve.
You wanna get yourself in the comfortable spot so that you can focus on the creative part of the work.
Exactly. And I recommend that for all writers. It's what formula or what program are Joshua Lysek and Adam Wayne Smith hawking now? It's like the 80-20 writing method where they're applying the Pareto distribution to writing productivity, and all the Pareto distribution says is that like 80% of your results are going to come from 20% of your effort. So the idea is to find that 20% and just focus on that. And then you keep doing it because guess what? It's like, okay, I found my 20% that yields 80% of my results. So I'm going to narrow in on that. Well, then it's like Russian dolls. Well, then 20% of that 20% is going to give you 80% of your results. So you narrow in on that. And 20% of that 20% is going to yield 80% of your results. You just keep zooming in. Until you're hyper efficient. Just trimming the fat. So, like Rawl said earlier, don't worry about getting it right. Just worry about getting it written.
level's ready now?
Still 53 because I've been running from stuff.
Oh, smart.
But I have a feeling she's going to get to 60 by the end of this. Because we still have to do the core and everything. But yeah, now I'm starting to think that we just rolled really well in the first 3 encounters with those puffs. And yeah, it might be 1 out of 256.
Starting to feel that way.
Oh well. We still have an hour. I'm sure the chat would love to see the other lush, lavish maps besides this one room, but I'm building anticipation.
Okay.
Yeah, LibreOffice works too. I also use that sometimes. I don't know. You're a good guy to ask about this, and many in chat seem like it too. I am worried about possible formatting errors and like weird glitches sneaking into a file, which I composed in Word, but then like convert to HTML in LibreOffice. What are the chances of that getting mucked up?
Oh, you'll have to say this again.
Okay, so like let's say I compose a .doc file in Word, okay, like a 200-page manuscript, but then I then open that same file in LibreOffice and save as HTML. What are the odds of the final ebook like getting some weird formatting junk and glitches?
I can't really assign a percentage to that, but let me think out loud. There are 2 steps there that cause risk. Right? There are 2 translations, 2 points of failure. First one is opening the doc file in LibreOffice. Now, if you're using formatting that is not compatible or isn't implemented correctly in LibreOffice, then that's where you get your first point of failure. Where there's nothing wrong with the HTML, it's garbage in, garbage out. The doc was corrupted or changed when you open it in LibreOffice.
Makes sense.
The other point of failure, of course, is turning it into HTML. That part I'm not worried about. If it should be what you see is what you get in LibreOffice. If it looks like that in LibreOffice and you make it into an HTML file, it should render that way in Google Chrome or any Chrome-based browser.
All right.
That said, you can easily do a couple of experiments to work that out. You've got your butt groove well worn in on your chair, so you can take your manuscript and move it into LibreOffice and examine it. Maybe do it with a short 20-page one just to check for formatting goofs, and convert it to HTML.
See, I did that. That's exactly what I just did. I ran an experiment on CUI 96 Prelude. And I haven't had any complaints about it. I didn't notice anything amiss in my QA check. So it seems to work. I was just wondering if there's more potential for error in a document 10 times the size.
Only because there are more opportunities for non-usual formatting.
Okay.
Like if you've got some indented paragraphs in a section or something like that, maybe that won't get rendered. You don't do much like that in your work, so
not often.
if everything's just straight, if it's all just straight prose and chapter headings and whatever, then I don't anticipate it.
Well, and because the next book features Heather, she demands a page at the end you can lick, and it tastes like Kool-Aid. That's what you get instead of an ending this time. Spoiler alert. But that is Amazon's new Amazon Lick feature. They'll just throw a Kool-Aid, yeah, a Kool-Aid page at the end, and choose from cherry or grape. Lime is in beta. I'll keep you posted on that.
Cherry.
Only high rollers like Nick Cole get lime. They have lime access. It's like, the end of latest Galaxy's Edge book, 10-4, 10-5. Weather forecast, 100% chance of bullet storm. I'm about to show you why they call me Hurricane. Turn the page, just lime Kool-Aid. The end. And everybody
Still
clapped.
cooler.
Yeah. Oh! Now see, someone could totally disintermediate Amazon by coming up with an Ecto Cooler page. Elon Musk should totally get on that.
It's like something he'd do.
Yeah. And the government would pay him to do it.
Is that guy a grifter or what?
Looks like. Because without government tax breaks and subsidies, he would be so in the hole right now. Like, that's the only reason he makes any money. And yes, this is the Final Fantasy grinding and formatting advice stream.
And I don't like to write and I don't like to read. What should I write?
Probably like tech manuals.
Said I don't like to write. I didn't say I hate my life.
Oh, that's good. Reads like stereo instructions. Although we haven't been doing much grinding lately, mainly turning our backs in disgust on enemies and running away. Yeah, 20,000 words in Google Docs, not bad. That's a decent short story.
Call me an office drone or a bugman or a microsurf if you like, but I kind of do enjoy a well-crafted email or an elegant piece of software. When you get the opportunity to sit down and really craft a program or even a simple script, make it good, make it maybe the best it could be for what you're doing. Make it easy to read as well. Maybe even add some documentation. That is very enjoyable to me. It's all kinds.
I can appreciate that. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, Phantom Wolf has a poignant question here, and a timely one. Is that why Elon is doing space tickets for very affluent people to keep funding other things? I have another theory, which is partly the basis for Combat Frame Exceed, because, who is it? It's him, and then, like, they've announced that Jeff Bezos and then somebody else, like another mega billionaire, are going into space soon. I think it's their escape hatch. I think they, like, again, they've got all the weird machine learning and AIs and models. I think they see certain negative trends intersecting soon, And they don't want to be here when they do.
I'm pressing X to doubt, but it's a wonderful thought. I love it.
I don't know, man. I mean, you got Robert Bigelow, who invented, like, inflatable space hotels and, like, actually has contracts to build the first Arby's on the moon. They've been planning this for a while. Like, that was in 96.
First Arby's, you say?
Yeah, Robert Bigelow has the rights to build an Arby's on the moon.
It's the most amazing thing I've heard all day.
You're welcome. It's going to be really amazing is like when all the oligarchs would just blast off from their private spaceport and leave us here as things go all Mad Max, and then they, as a parting shot, they steal like all of our gold reserves and rare earth minerals. And like, so long.
Hilarious, you say.
Yeah, and then form the coalition. Keep in mind, I have an astounding track record. I'm not just tooting my own horn there. Ask anybody. I called exactly how the election would go down. Like, I just did.
Well, I mean, you can toot your own horn, but live in Illinois. You had some an educated guess. Yeah, no,
yeah,
good,
I mean,
good point. I mean, truth is stranger than fiction. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we invented that. I mean, I'm probably gonna get in trouble with YouTube for this, but who cares? Of course, like everyone here knows that the election was stolen, because all they did was they took the Cook County strategy and they just, there we go, they went macro with it. That's all it is. They
like,
did the exact.
They're like, what if we did this in 5 states at once?
Yeah, it's exactly what they did to Nixon, just on the macro scale. Because by the way, Nixon won.
All right, Pink Puffs, jam to the Chocobo music.
Woo! Loving it. Come on. You know you want to. Alright, I can't wait. Yeah, he's dead.
$20,000 HP.
20,000. Thank you. Oh. So it looks like I've got Edge and Cecil.
The 2 guys you wanted to be berserked.
I know, right? It'd be really optimal if Rita and Rosa could escape the berserking. But oh, and Rita's the one who takes him out. Of course. Oh, lost Edge.
That's better.
But I think all of them are berserk now. Yep. Oh well. Yeah, the life potion trick is just... Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, man. The last one is always really hard to get. Okay. So if we don't get the pink tail here, I'm going to go back to Earth.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going back to Earth. That's okay. Patience. We'll try again later. But I want to get something tonight to make this worth our while. So we got something to show for it. Like besides millions of dollars. Sorry, go ahead. Ooh.
Maybe the real rare drops were the friends we made along the way.
Oh, I mean, this band of motley wackos. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not? We got Captain Fantasy cover up there, and then we got 80s hair, and Double Dragon, and then Death, Destroyer of Worlds, and edgy remake of the 90s. Yeah. Yeah, they're fun. They're the regular.
If it's an edgy remake for the 90s, then it is by definition extreme.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Just a reminder, as long as Rose is alive, you can just use her to heal up the party, and you only have to step on the MP tile.
Yeah. I like the Gatorade colored light, though. Like the Mountain Dew light.
Thought you would.
I can taste it. Yes, Coyote Con. Send Chicago into the Great Lakes. Yeah, dig the moat. Always remember to dig the moat. I will meet you on the offer's open. I'll meet you on the shores of Lake Michigan with shovels and a picnic lunch. And we'll get this done. And just make Chicago its own Escape from New York style island. Like its own DC style district on Lake Michigan. And then we will be free. Because, Dornall, did you know, to get like just overtly political, like we can't do on the normal Geek Gab, but I'm going to do right now, because I can, that like Barack Obama as a thing is entirely Illinois' fault. Specifically the Illinois GOP.
Well, I mean, I knew he was from Chicago, but I don't know anything else about it. So how did he happen?
Okay, do you know anything? It all starts with Star Trek Voyager. No, I'm serious.
Yep, you're gonna have to explain this one to me.
Okay, so wind the clock back to, I believe it was 2006, and Illinois had a state Senate race. Or no, sorry, it was the U.S. Senate race for the state, and Barack Obama got the Democrat nomination. The Republican nomination initially went to a local prosecutor named Jim Ryan, who was the husband of Jerry Ryan, who played 7 of 9 on Voyager. With me so far?
Yeah, I remember her. Okay.
Yeah, who could forget?
7 of boobs.
Yeah. Nice gal. Now, the two of them went through a pretty nasty divorce in California court, and like by their mutual agreement, like for the sake of their son, the divorce records were sealed. So sealed by court order. Well, the Chicago Tribune managed to bribe, finagle something, but they managed to get a hold of the Ryans' sealed divorce records. And in those records, they published the testimony of Jerry Ryan on the stand, wherein she'd said that, yeah, when they were in Paris, her husband took her to like kind of a sleazy sex club against her wishes. And
Oh,
yeah,
that sounds like something that wouldn't play in state politics.
well, depending on where you are, but no, like as Ryan pointed out, he remained ahead because he was beating Obama like pretty handily, and he was still ahead in the polls. But the Illinois Republican Party, like of course, preemptively folded and pressured on him to quit the race. They pressured him to quit. And replaced him at the last minute with Alan Keyes, who's not even from Illinois. Yeah, Ambassador Alan. He was an ambassador under W at the time.
Oh.
And like he was giving all these interviews about, oh yeah, my wife and I just bought a house in Illinois and we're looking forward to living here. I mean, so of course the idea is bringing in a based black man to take down Obama, but who has no connection to the state, isn't even from here.
It's a carpetbagger.
Yeah, most people don't even know who he is. And Obama kicked his ass. It later turned out that Jerry Ryan herself admitted that the whole sex club thing, like, I suppose taken out of context, but yeah, it was BS. It didn't happen. So the whole thing was for nothing. So Obama became a senator and then was fast-tracked to the presidency for no reason. And yeah, I mean, if the California court had been honest and had kept the record sealed and hadn't blabbed to the Tribune, he never would have happened. We never would have been visited with that mess. But yeah, if the Illinois Republican Party hadn't just been super eager to throw their own guy under the bus like they always are, Obama would have been like an obscure footnote in U.S. history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just goes to show it. Florida's not the only place that can screw everything up.
Oh, no. And I know we have some Floridians in chat, so I feel your pain. Okay, so the stale men are in here.
Yes. They're the least likely. There's two on the table, a single stale man and a stale man with a few skeletons.
Ooh, then there's a skeleton. And then, like, what's the drop chance for the Zeus gauntlet?
Is about, if you get a loot table, it's about 50%.
Nice. Okay. Which is weird because I'm pretty sure I fought a lot of those guys, but
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure there's a second roll.
yeah. And they're on any floor of this place, right? Doesn't matter which basement I'm on.
I think they're on most floors.
Okay, so there's no reason to go any deeper here.
I did my farming on this floor and 2 floors or 3 floors up, for a couple of reasons. I was doing solo Rydia to bring her level up to equal everybody else's, and on the 3rd floor there are lamias in eggs, and not only is that an easy encounter to run from, they've got 75 MP that you can steal, so you can farm for days on that level.
Oh, you know what? There's
Never got a
chest.
Lilith room.
The Lilith room. That sounds like the 1993 Four Non-Blondes second album or something. Right? It sounds like the lesser-known second album of like a one-hit wonder femme shrill rock band from like the Plaid era. Just memories.
Plaid era. Love it.
The Plaid days when we went to Plaid. Which was right around the time this game came out. So, aka the height of civilization. Yes, the eagerness to betray is possibly the worst thing about the most loathsome party. Like McCarthy, I just heard is talking about throwing Matt Gaetz to the wolves. So yeah, they backstab anyone who's effective.
It's dreadful.
Yep, GOP to Linda Est. Like, if we're going to have any hope of salvaging this mess, we got to get rid of them first.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's the conservatives, let's be honest, because ironically, so long as we're in the United States of America with our current system and society, and as long as normies are still normies, the Republican Party is one of the tools that we have. It doesn't. It could be the Republican Party. It can't be the Democrat Party right now, because they are thoroughly infested, and it's like they've got a gaggle of leftists at the controls of a giant robot messing around.
The interesting thing to see will be if Kanye West can get the presidential nomination. He almost certainly won't do it in 2024, but in 28 or 32, there's a definite possibility because of demographic change. And like even last time I heard people saying, oh, he should run as a Republican. No. But Kanye West is not going to run as a Republican. He is too smart. He would run as a Democrat. And then if he keeps the same platform he published last time, that would get really interesting. Because then basically he would give the Democrats their Trump moment. Like, there would be this super popular, like, traditionalist populist candidate who was an outsider, and the Dems would be stuck with him. And I'd kind of be worried for his safety. But he's so popular. I don't even know if they dare trying anything. Oh, and he's crazy enough to actually do what Trump blustered about, but didn't have the balls to do.
And crazy is the right word. That man is fucking insane.
There's a fine line between insanity and genius. He's both. Well, he is. Dude has a genius IQ. It's like 150.
Something all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like what you said about the Trump moment. Having someone who can bring ideas into the party that had been discarded or were forgotten. I mean, everybody knows that Donald Trump is basically a labor Democrat.
Everyone except the Democrats who think he's Satan Hitler.
Yes, I mean, weird. That's current year for you.
Yeah. Again, that's
that sort of thing. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's really walk it back. Think about it. One of the things I think we learned from Trump is that you can't in top down. Whoever runs for president is immaterial.
Yeah.
It's the type of change, the type of society that I presume you're interested in and would like to live in is going to take a long time from the bottom up. Because what can I say? But we won. And You got the one guy in office who was on our side, regardless of his faults and what happened, and literally every other person in Washington fought him, like worked against him.
Here we go.
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
hey, by the way, Stone is a very fast spell and should kill them all.
All of them, eh? No, it doesn't need to kill that one now. And then Murder Cane.
Yeah. Sick cane on him.
Oh, you know what? Next time I should kill him first, and I can use the life potion on.
Oh yeah, get him first.
Well, live and learn. Okay, first strike, nice. Now let's check chat. County Khan, I would support Connie for president. If I were ever going to vote again at the national level, I would too, but like Dornell said, there's no point. Like, voting at the national level just reinforces the deep state's legitimacy, because that's how democracy works, right? It's predicated on, oh, well, the government just is the will of the people. The people are sovereign, and the steady state, the managerial state, whatever you want to call them, they use that to pass the buck and to avoid any accountability. Because anytime one of their crazy schemes that no one voted for goes sideways, they point the finger at us and be like, well, it's not our fault. You know, you voted for this, even though no one did. So it's going to be interesting to see them try that when voter participation drops below 35%.
And my point wasn't much you shouldn't vote. My point was, captured the highest office. The guy had the power. He couldn't affect the change, right? If you care about that sort of thing, well, voting isn't. I wasn't saying anything about whether you should vote or not. I was saying, don't waste any energy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what's happening at the national level or anything like that. It's all a distraction. It's all a waste of time. It's like I was saying the other night, just focus on home. If you really want to make a difference, run for the school board or the dog catcher, whatever. Right? Just work locally and grind it out. It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, we're not going to live to see it. Hate to inform you guys, but like some millennials might. They probably have the Zoomers will. Generation Alpha will, but yeah, it's time to play.
I'll be pleasantly. I'll be pleasantly surprised if the rest of my life is anything more than enjoying the decadence by poolside. But I think planting oak trees is a good idea.
Yep, you're never going to live to see those acorns become mighty oaks, but your grandkids will. No, that should be enough. So, okay. You guys really want to make a difference? Here's what you can do, because I'm all about actionable advice, and I've been accused by certain ankle biters of just like, oh, well, expecting Christianity to magically fix everything. Well, no. First of all, it's sacramentality. It's not magic. Okay, magic is attempting to use preternatural powers for a purely natural end, and as the 20th century showed, working for purely natural ends is a mug's game. It's what got us in this mess. So, what you can do is, like, pull your kids out of the death cult seminaries and homeschool them. If you are a wife, don't work outside the home. Like, job is to be a wife and a mother. You can do it. I know tons of people who do it. Don't fall into the two-income trap. And then, yes, everybody, go to church. Go to church, and then make reparation, make sacrifices, offer up oblations and little mortifications and giving little things up for just the constant and manifold sins of mankind. Because, yeah, I do believe in a supernatural order. I believe God is in charge. He's the Lord of history. And as Scripture shows again and again, when his people screw up and turn their backs on and we go astray, he uses like the most loathsome enemies, just the most odious enemies he can scrounge up to, like, as scourges to punish his people. And that's exactly what's happening now. We're under divine judgment. So yeah, we owe him. Oh, great surprise. And I've killed the discussion again, which I suppose is okay. Anything going on in chat, Ornal?
Little support from chat.
Okay.
Sure, let's see. Bradford Walker says, the thing Trump did is force the enemy to out themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to read these without comment, but I think I mentioned this before, but the one thing I like to tell people, especially people who are incredulous, who ask, why would you support him? Why did you support him? And the way I see it is this. All the people responsible for everything you hate about the federal government since the Cold War. The neoliberals, the neoconservatives, warhawks, the donor simps and the business Chamber of Commerce Republicans. As soon as Trump became the nominee, or the eventual nominee, right around the first debate, they all arrayed themselves as his enemies, including the Bushes and the Clintons and the Obamas and everybody else. It was enough for me, right? It wasn't just his enemies were out to get him. Even people who were his, at least professional friends, people like Oprah Winfrey, became his political enemies. But the enemy of everybody else. Nobody wanted another Bush. Nobody wanted another Clinton. I think I'm pretty safe that I speak for the majority of Americans. We were done with those people. We had seen all the damage that they had wrought. Staleman cited. Yeah, it was really valuable. It was valuable. It was valuable to see them tear the mask off. It was valuable. Nice, you got it. It was valuable to. How do I put this? It was valuable to see, as I said before, capturing the presidency isn't enough. He had a great president, and he was. I truly believe he was on the side of people. Oh, sweet.
We did it, chat. We got one of the legendary drops. It's all been worth it. But no, go ahead. You're on a roll. You're on a roll.
That was it. That was what I was trying to say.
Okay, who should get this honey of a bracelet here?
Great question.
Like, what's it do?
It's got a lot of armor, absolutely no magic defense, but it gives plus 10 or plus 15 strength. The question is Kane at 99 strength yet?
Oh my gosh. Not quite.
You need to put that on Kane.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
It wasn't a huge upgrade over it was a 5-point upgrade over the strength gauntlet. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that is gonna
maybe not worth the farming time in the long run, but it sure was fun right now.
Okay, and what about this? You liking that? I like that.
I am. I'm really liking that.
Good. I want you to like it.
Yeah, especially since you get rid of that crappy samurai armor.
Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So I think that'll do it for the game for tonight. What I might do to spare you guys just interminable grinding and actually get us to some cool new stuff is try grinding in the Lunar Subterrane cabin room on my own, see if I can get the pink tail, and even though you guys will miss the moment of triumph, if I get it, you will then just get to see me turn it in and do the story stuff, which is more fun anyway. That's my
Sounds like a
current
reasonable plan to me.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Works for me. I will hang out and chat about politics all you want, but yeah, I don't think any of us needs another 4 hours of grinding.
Nope. Well, I do, but I don't need to inflict that on anyone else.
Aaron Schuff agrees. We're under divine judgment. So does Coyote Khan. Yeah, chat likes your idea, Brian.
Oh, good. Well, give glory to God. Or are they talking about for the game or my prescription for society? Either way, if I can find a free moment tomorrow, because yeah, tomorrow. Wow, time flies. It's going to be our last stream of the week. Episode 19.
I've really enjoyed doing this.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I've missed Trump's tweets, yeah. I left Twitter as soon as he was gone. Reason to stay.
Yes, I second that. I've enjoyed doing this with all of you. This was something really new for me, and I went outside my comfort zone to do it. I've never attempted anything like this, and yeah, I had to learn some new hardware and software and work out some bugs. But this is what I dreamed online gaming would always be like, Dornall. Like this is
Hanging out
realizing,
with your buddies like on the couch.
yeah, it's like we're all in a big digital living room, and we can't have chips and salsa and beer, but yeah, we can talk about the news of the day and play through a game. A classic. Yeah, this is the life in many ways. God is good.
Man.
Oh, somebody's getting sewing done.
Give me-
Excellent.
Gave me an idea though for a more interactive stream. Could set up Fightcade or a Super Nintendo emulator and play Internet Street Fighter with chat.
Yeah. Oh, Found a Wolf doesn't think we need women priests. Well, yeah, I mean, that's like saying I don't think we need square triangles. It's a metaphysical impossibility. So it's not a matter of needing it. It's just it can't happen. Like, John Paul II issued an infallible statement on it saying, yeah, the church does not have, like, we are not given the authority to ordain women. So, like, any attempt to do it would be self-negating. And if you want, I could go into the theological reasons for that, but that is kind of a deep rabbit hole. I think the infallible proclamation is, like, for traditionalists, that should be enough. But yeah, nuns do have an important role. The role of male and female religious is to pray for the rest of society, and don't think it's any coincidence that as the ranks of like the monastic orders have dwindled, and there's fewer people to pray for us, well, Clown World has happened. Oh, really? Oh, and Francis added more teeth to the canonical penalties for attempting to ordain women. Yeah, I've heard he's been on a bit of a roll lately, actually.
It's good, frankly. Just a lot of people are really frustrated with a lot of the stuff that he's done, and me not actually knowing anything about it. Sort of, just as someone learning about the church, I found it really off-putting. Just on a personal level.
Yeah, don't listen to it, man. All that, look, if you're not going to buy the fake news about Trump, don't fall for Gelman amnesia. That's all it is. Like, the same people that lied about Trump are lying about the Pope. I've looked into, like, every instance of this, and it's all BS. Like, the Pope is Catholic.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, no, he did not change the Our Father. No, he did not allow the divorced and remarried to receive communion. No, he did not, like, unreservedly say, who am I to judge, and give, like, carte blanche to gay marriage. No, he didn't do any of that. He is, like, he shoots from the hip. He's theologically unclear. He can be liturgically indifferent. Like, he's sloppy. And yeah, as a systematic theologian, I don't like it. I don't like his style. But he doesn't even make, like, the top 20 worst popes in history. I mean, John the 12th was ordained at 18, had multiple mistresses in the Lateran Palace, and ran the church as an actual pornocracy, like, complete with blackjack and hookers, but even he didn't change even one perennial teaching of the church. So it's been way worse than this. People just have no sense of history.
I mean, that's true. Can't dispute that.
Hey, Matthew Martin, first rule of learning about the church: never, ever trust the mainstream press when reporting about religion. Yeah, when the MSM reports on religion, subtract 10 IQ points. When they report about Christianity, subtract 20, and when they report about the Catholic Church, subtract 50. And you'll be able to interpret the story correctly.
I'm not even necessarily talking about the mainstream media, though. Maybe it's just the other people who are being affected by it. But yeah, a lot of people are really unhappy with him for this and that.
Yeah, well, they're all getting it from the... They're all getting it from the MSM, though.
All right.
Like, they're uncritically... Yeah, and that's what's inexcusable is... And I have very little patience for them is... A lot of these are the exact same people who wouldn't believe CNN if they reported that Trump, like, played golf or something, right? They demand, like, a Breitbart link for it or something, but the same people report, oh, like, Francis declares Jesus not God and, like, erects obelisk to moon goddess. They immediately swallow it, and it makes its way around social media. But nah, like, I'm old enough to remember 2013 when he was first elected, and they tried the Nazi slur on him. Remember that? They tried to paint him as a Nazi?
No, I don't remember that, of course.
Yeah, they did, because there was an incident in Argentina where he was archbishop, where, like, a couple of priests got kidnapped by some right-wing militia types. And, like, apparently the story was that, like, he went soft on them or, like, harbored them or something. So, yeah, they, first thing upon his election, MSM tried to paint him as a Nazi. And when that just obviously didn't stick, like, one of the priests even came forward and was like, well, no, that's not what happened. They then tried, okay, well, we'll co-opt him. We'll make him look like our guy. So that's the the script they've been running ever since. It's just apply filter to distort everything Francis does to make him look like just a flaming theological and political liberal. Now, yeah, granted, he's politically farther to the left than I would like, but his is not a political office.
Well, interesting. I had an interesting conversation with someone. Digressed into some of that stuff in class, and I talked afterwards. I was like, it sounds like you're really frustrated by this, but you got to understand, like, learning about this church, and I really don't care, and I don't know helping anybody else by bringing that stuff up all the time. And anyway,
yeah.
Sorry, I brought it up. Who brought it up anyway?
Whoever did, I'm glad. See, Coyote Khan asks what my opinion on Francis' stance on capital punishment is. What is his stance on capital punishment? I'm like, can you be sure it's his? Like, where did you read it in the news? Like, you probably don't have the whole story. Because, like, even under JP2, I remember people getting pissed off about this. Like, this is my first time around the block. Like, I've heard this about every pope in my lifetime, and I've heard this, like, about every teaching that, yeah, I'd heard that John Paul II had, like, said, oh, well, capital punishment is not okay now. What I will say is the church's perennial teaching does allow for the death penalty. Okay? Like, honestly, relaxing all those heretics to the secular arm to be burned would be rather at odds with church teaching if the church didn't allow for it. What I understand is, like, the catechism says that if it's the only way to protect society, like, from a murderer or a grave threat, and as long as it's carried out by a legitimate authority, right, those are the criteria. Because, I mean, Caesar is given the power of the sword. My opinion right now, if Francis has come out against the death penalty, I would be conditionally for it, because look who has the power to exercise it. You really want Biden and Kamala Harris having the power over life and death? I mean, they do, but wouldn't you rather it be restricted? Yeah, so would I.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, Matthew Martin, I've been saying for years that Francis is not as important as his supporters or detractors think is. Yeah. Exactly, a lot like Trump. Let's see. I think Francis is trying to push teaching farther toward a practical inadmissibility in the contemporary situation. Okay, yeah, there's some church speak there, guy, and I get what you're saying, but I don't know if everybody else will. Yeah, there's no rupture with the church's tradition. From what I'm hearing, like, what he's saying is that, okay, yeah, the church has held that, like, under these criteria, the death penalty is admissible. But, like, in the modern world, that's so vanishingly rare as to make the death penalty de facto inadmissible, because we're never going to meet all the criteria. Same thing for, like, just war theory. Like, again, John Paul II, it said, like, no more war ever. Because, like, with modern weapons, we really can't meet just war theory criteria anymore. They're so destructive. I think that's probably what's going on. So this stuff is really, really complex. Like, JDA's lawyer was, like, completely dunking on the File 770 chores for playing armchair lawyer Well, historically, theology has been recognized as far more involved and complex and requiring a higher IQ than even the law. Like, the law program is what you went into in the old medieval universities when you flunked out of theology. It was like plan C after medicine. No offense to John's lawyer, but like even today, theology is one of the highest IQ majors. It's like up there with theoretical physics and mathematics. Yeah, and now the weapons.
I tried theoretical physics once. I tried theoretical physics once. Let's just say I'm not a genius.
Oh, that's okay. We accept you and even love you because you're one of us, an extension of ourselves.
Oh.
See, there was some controversy about him changing the catechism. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the Pope changes the catechism. It's like, this is what I'm talking about. Anyway, I know you granted that what I said about the press holds true, but this is another good example. Like, it was reported, oh, Pope Francis changes the Our Father. Well, like, the Pope doesn't do that. Okay, what had actually happened with that was the Italian Bishops' Synod had, like, approved a new Italian translation of the Our Father, and they themselves were following the French bishops, who themselves had followed, like, the Austrian bishops. And, like, Francis was asked about it, and it basically was like, yeah, if they want to, I have no opposition to them doing that. And it was reported as, oh, Francis is mandating that, like, every Catholic Church in the vernacular change their translation of their Father. I know, that's just a lie. That was wrong. He didn't. That's not happening. And second of all, it's ridiculous because no one uses the correct translation of the Our Father. If anybody can post, like, the biblical rendering of the Our Father from, like, I don't know, the King James in chat without looking, I will be impressed.
I'm gonna have to look.
Okay, I'm being told that, okay, Francis personally, you're saying, you're sure made some revisions to the catechism. Like, I'm not doubting you might have, but that's highly unusual because it was Schonborn, I believe, who wrote the catechism, or at least edited it. The 94 one. Either way, not a huge deal, because anytime a pronouncement of the Ordinary Magisterium would be at odds or in tension with a previous one, like, you go to the weight of the Magisterium. You look at it as a whole, and those which are more consistent and more ancient in teaching have prominence. Yes, I went at Regnum to Via Volentos to a secret in Chelo and Terra, and I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I'm not going to burden everyone else with the rest of it, but yeah. But even there, like, even the Pater Noster is like an amalgam of various biblical sources. Like the Lord's Prayer appears in multiple places in the scriptures in multiple different forms, so we have a synthesis of it. Although Latin gets the phrasing of debts right, it's not trespasses; it is actually debts. Anyway,
interesting.
Yeah. What you got?
Yeah, the trespasses instead of debts. We talked about this already. Weird that translation would come about.
Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be about that time, so I'm going to call it here. Thanks for joining me and listening to me and Dornall and chat rant. and watching me cream some pink cream puffs. But we'll pick it back up tomorrow night at same time, 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. In the meantime, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of further F4 streams and the regular Geek Gab joint between Daddy Warpig and Doranal here. And make sure to check out...
on Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah. Make sure to check out my award-worthy first novel, Ethereal, linked in the show notes below. And for Geek Gab, this is Brian.
This is John Dornell signing off.